So it's 9 o'clock. Oh, I guess I can, you want me to call it to order? Call the Monday, May 13th, 2024 Highway Committee meeting to order. Roll call. William Metzinger.
Here.
Tom Reamer.
Here.
James Schultz.
Here.
Thomas Trudeau.
Here.
Martin Vitek.
Here.
So everybody's here, so we have a quorum. Just to introduce myself, you all know probably, but I'm Matt Erickson. I'm the Highway Commissioner.
Marcy Henry, I'm office manager.
Bruce Kleinsteiber, Patrol Superintendent.
That's so number 2, election of the Highway Committee Chair. Take nominations.
I would like to nominate Marty Vitek.
Thank you for the nomination, Bill, but I'm going to decline mainly because I don't hear very well and I miss a lot of stuff. So with that in mind, I'll nominate Bill Metzinger.
So we had a nomination in the decline and another nomination of Bill Metzinger. Any other nominations? Any other nominations for Highway Committee Chair? Any other nominations? I guess if not, does somebody want to cast a unanimous ballot for?
I move we close nominations and cast a unanimous ballot for Bill Metzinger.
We have a second.
I'll second it.
So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. It's your meeting, Bill.
Well, thank you. Now we're the third thing on the agenda is election of the vice chair for the highway committee. Is there any nominations for vice chair?
You want to do it, Marty?
Yeah,
Vice Chair?
sure, I'll do it.
I'll nominate Marty.
Is there any other nominations for vice chair? Is there any other nominations for vice chair? Like a third time?
I think so.
Okay. Do we have a motion to close the balloting and pass a unanimous vote for Marty Vitek for vice chair?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second it.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Congratulations, Marty. Fourth thing on the agenda is approval of the agenda as listed. Does anybody have any?
Move we approve the agenda.
Is there a second to that?
I'll second it.
Second by Tom Reamer. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, number 5, approval of the February 12th, 2024 meeting minutes. Anybody have any questions about those minutes? Not, we have a motion to approve the minutes.
So move.
Motion by Marty to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Tom Reamer. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried. Is there anybody on Zoom?
We have Gary Mertig is the only attendee by Zoom.
Guess I'll turn it over to the highway department chairperson.
All right, so I wanted to do a overview of the department. We have three new committee members, which welcome. Look forward to working with you guys. But just to give you an overview of what we are, what we do. If you have any questions throughout, please feel free to ask. So just have in your packet, you have a color thing of this. You can follow along there, or else up on the screen here. I don't know if you can see that. So the first thing is our staff. So talked about it I'm the highway commissioner. Bruce is our patrol superintendent. Our shop superintendent is Bob Fiff. Office manager is Marcy Henry. We have a foreman, Kim Ricola. One full-time mechanic, Brian Hill. And then 10 operators. So Ted Brissett, Michael Brunn, Dallas Fisher, John Grage, Paul Grayheck, Dylan Lauber, Jason Norton, Logan Norton, Greg Schulte. And we have one vacant position open right now that we are advertising for. So you may or may not know of any of these. Bruce, as a patrol superintendent, he takes care of all of our day-to-day operations, works with the crews to send them out to supervise them, give them all their orders and duties for the day. So yeah, he's very involved on that end. Shop superintendent Bob Piff, he takes care of, is in charge of our fleet and basically our buildings. He's got one full-time mechanic, although we use some of the operators almost on a daily basis. We have, well, one for sure, John Grage. He was a mechanic at L's down by Glidden for 27 years or something. So he's a very, very good mechanic. He helps out in there. If he's not plowing snow, he's almost in the shop full time. We have a couple others. Jason Norton is an excellent welder, fabricator. He does a lot of that work. Yeah, they help out. Dylan Lauber, he's probably our newest employee. He's a younger guy. Oh, Ted's the newest, yeah. But Dylan has a interest in mechanics, so he'll help out in the shop as needed also. So we have a very good crew there. They can get a lot of work done when needed. Very experienced. Bruce was on the crew for what, 30 years, and so he knows everything that we do, what needs to be done. He was our main equipment operator, excavator for culverts and what that. So he's trained. Paul Grayheck does most of our culvert digging now. He's getting to where he's doing a very good job too. So yeah, we have a pretty good crew. Ted Brissett is our newest. He started last October, but he's has many years in the trucking and been around our type of work for many years, so he's doing good. Yeah, I don't know, does anybody have any questions on staff or what we do? Bill?
When does the summer help start? Do we have anybody yet?
I was gonna touch on that
Oh, that's later on.
in the report, but I can answer that now.
Okay.
Generally, they start anytime. We've been advertising, looking, schools. We have not got one application. We were at $15 an hour. Bayfield County went to $17.38. I talked to Dan and he approved us going up to the $17.38. Still not an application for summer.
Yeah.
So we're really struggling with that. It's been declining the last few years. We used to get 6. Then we went to 4. If you remember, some of you were here a few years back, we bought a set of automatic flaggers. They're stoplights we can set out on the road. They talk to each other and they work, so we don't have to have flaggers on a lot of our jobs. So that took 2 of our summer help. It helped us. They do a lot of flagging for us. That really helped. So we went to 4. Last year we had 2. We were only able to find 2. And this year we're just not finding anybody.
It doesn't have to be students. It could be.
Does not have to be students. We do require 18 years old. It's, yeah, just under 18, 16 to 18s. We have a lot of interest in that area, but there's just so many restrictions that we wouldn't be able to have them do a lot of stuff. It's just not really worth it to take the chance they're going to end up doing something they shouldn't. And if you had an incident, that would be not good. So yeah, we're going to keep trying. The vacant operator position, we've been advertising for that for a while. I think we've got 4 applications. Not anything that we're real interested in at this time. We're going to keep on looking for that for right now. So see what happens, I guess.
What is that pay per hour?
Starting wage is 21 something,
2070.
2070. And, goes up from there on the wage schedule. Historically, in the past, say like Ted started last fall, we were able to start him higher than that as he had some experience, so we started him up off of the bottom a little ways, but step 3 or 4. Any other questions on staff? No. So facilities, we have 3 facilities. This is a picture of our main facility here in High Bridge. That's obviously where the office is, where most of what happens goes on. We have the shop part here, the storage. We have you can kind of see across the way here, we have our salt dome, which we'll talk about that a little later. That's going to be getting a new roof. So our office is here, mechanic shop, storage. We have salt sand over here. We have a salt storage here. Another just an open cold storage, closed cold storage, and another closed cold storage there. And there's a lot of, in the back behind here, we actually have a sand pit hooked on that we can get some material out of. So yeah, that's the main facility. We have, well, out of High Bridge there is, so out of them 10 operators, there's 9 or 10 plow routes. So yeah, 4 plow routes run out of High Bridge here. 2 state routes, Highway 13, 77, and then 2 county routes. One is County C and then GG from Mellon to Clam Lake. So our next shop is Ashland. It's at 1701 3rd Street West. We have a storage facility and a salt shed at that location. There is 3 plow routes run out of there. 2 state routes. They are US 2 from Ashland out to the Iron County line, and then Highway 112 plus that route also takes care of the Bayfront from basically the stoplights at Sanborn Avenue there out to the roundabout. We plow a little bit into Bayfield County. Bayfield County does then plow 137 right up to 6th Street, and they plow 118 right up to 112. So kind of switched out with them. So doing them short little pieces. So yeah, there's them 3 routes. So in the wintertime, I guess the 3rd route is County A and then the town of Jingles. We plow all Jingles roads also. So in the wintertime, the 3 people basically from November 15th to April 15th, they report to the Ashland shop or the Glidden shop. We'll talk about that next. Summertime, everybody reports here to High Bridge unless we have a specific project up in that area that if they live closer to, that it makes more sense for them to report to Ashland or Glidden, they will.
Did you go to the 10-hour days yet?
We did. We went in early April.
When does that run till?
Generally go through the last full week of October. So yeah, that's a good point, Bill. We run 410s through the summer months and then 5/8 through the winter months. So we've operated for quite a few years and everybody seems to like it. It works out pretty well for us.
Is the place closed on Friday?
It is, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey, Matt,
Yes.
I don't know if I missed it or not, but the island there, do you do anything, or the county employees that,
We do not employ anybody on the island.
yeah,
So we have a contract basically with the town of La Pointe. They take care of our daily maintenance over there.
okay,
They do the plowing, mow the grass, fix any signs that are down, pick up any trees that fall on the road, that sort of thing. We will go over to the island, we'll do crack sealing. We'll go fix the signs, the posts, they'll just put them back up temporary. We'll do any of the little bit bigger work per se, but most of the maintenance is done by them. And that's worked out very well for us. I was actually going to look it up this morning. I forgot to ask what we spend a year on it. I guess I don't I don't know off the top of my head. I would say probably 70 to 80,000. That's just a guess, but that we pay the town for the maintenance over there.
Depending on the winter.
Yeah, it depends on the winter. But, you know, for us to have basically a full-time person, we'd have to have a building, a plow truck, a tractor. I think we're money ahead to do as we are doing with that right now, so.
Everything would probably kill you too.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Yeah, for sure. Then we also have a facility in Glidden, 116 Adams Street. So there's three plow routes out of there. Highway 13 is one, the state route, and then we have 2 county routes. One route plows N out of Glidden and F out of Butternut, and the other one plows GG south of Clam Lake. So that's plow routes. Any questions on our facilities?
How many people do you have in each one?
So, I mean, there's
When the winter comes?
in the wintertime, there's 4 plow out of here, 3 out of Ashland, 3 out of Glidden. So 10 plow routes. So these are the roads we maintain. County highways, we have about 191, not 100, 91 miles of county highway. We have County A up out of Ashland. County C is here, just north of Mellon over to Sandburn. County E over near Sandburn there. County F is out of Butternut to the Iron County line. GG runs from Mellon down to Clam Lake, and then from Clam Lake down to the Sawyer County line, just above Loretta. County Highway H, we have about approximately 15 miles on Madeline Island. County M is a short piece from Clam Lake out to the Bayfield County line. County N runs out of Glidden, and County K goes to the airport, which that one it's still on the books as ours. The city basically does the maintenance on that one. We don't do much with it, but still on our books. Then we have approximately 120 miles of state highway that we maintain. So US 2, State Highway 13, Highway 77, 112, 118, 137, 169. So on the state highways, we have a contract that we call it the RMA. It's a routine maintenance agreement with DOT. It's just over $1 million contract every year to do the maintenance on these roads. We plow, we patch the potholes, we mow the grass, we cut brush, do all the daily maintenance things that need to be done. We'll also get special contracts with them for bigger projects. Say if sometimes a culvert needs changed, or last year we did a lot of probably 200,000+ extra down on 13 from Glidden to Butternut area, patching that section of roads in very poor shape. They gave us extra contract for some that we did. It's kind of like track sealing, but it's called mastic. It's a kind of a rubberized material with some little rock like stuff in it that seems to hold up pretty well. So yeah, we have a maintenance coordinator. His name is Dennis Danowski. Bruce works with him on a weekly basis to have a game plan of what we're going to do for the state or not. So yeah, that works out very well. We have a very good working relationship with DOT on that to maintain the roads. County highway is obviously come out of our county budget to do the maintenance on that. Any questions on the roads? This is just a list of, so the county trunk highways, it's through each town, city, village. So we have 91.26 miles of county highway. There's in Ashland County, there's 793.98 miles of town roads, 6.5 miles of village roads, and 78.26 miles of city streets. So with the total mileage excluding the state highways is 974.45 miles of roads in Ashland County. Just to give you an idea of what's out there. Obviously, the towns have the bulk of that. We do work with quite a few of our towns. Obviously, Jingles, we probably do the most. We plow their roads. Sometimes we do some brush mowing for them, crack sealing, patching, different stuff, whatever they ask for, we usually try to take care of for them. Some of the other towns we do crack sealing for, culverts. Do culverts for quite a few of them, which I feel we're able to do very, it's a good deal for the town. It's a good price for us to do that work for them, so.
I know from my knowledge that towns are very happy with your.
Yes.
Your culvert work.
Yeah.
Very happy.
Yeah, that's, they have been very satisfied, happy with not only the work, but what the price point too is usually good, so.
Yeah, I can say from the town of Jingles, we're very satisfied.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate the town work. It really helps the county budget. It helps, if you want to say subsidize the county budget, it takes the guys off of the county payroll, puts them, to the towns are paying their wages and pays for our equipment. And it really helps. So we do try to cater to them.
You do it pretty much on a break-even basis.
Yeah, it's time and material. So all of our equipment rates are set by DOT, and they use we have to do big reports. Marcy loves them, but the DOT has a statewide rate for pretty much any piece of equipment you can imagine, and we use them rates. That's how we charge the DOT. We actually charge ourselves that. We have two funds in our budget, so money goes in here and we take it out of that fund to this fund to pay ourselves for the work we do within the county. So county runs on a enterprise fund, I guess you can call it. So we get our budget dollars in here, and if we don't use them all, they kind of stay in there, say, for projects down the road. So Dan is joining us. So yeah, that's how that gets figured out, and then the wages are just the wages plus their benefit package. It's all comes out to a dollar amount that we charge the towns in the state as we work for them. Any questions on the roads? This is a map. It's kind of hard to see, but it just is all of Ashland County, all the road map, the roads in the county. Comes off the DOT Whistler site, so the packet, I don't know if it's any easier to see in there or not, but it's pretty small, so. This is a list of improvement projects that have been done over years to our county highways. This kind of shows what has been done each year for each roadway. County Highway A, 2.67 miles long. It shows the year that it was worked on. You want me to go through each one, or just you can kind of see the progression of the work as it's been done.
Do you guys do much brushing in the county roads,
We do.
or is cutting? Like I see that it was an excellent job that you did on Highway 13
Yeah.
this winter. That's really,
Yeah, so we have a boom mower on the tractor that we try to hit each county road every 2 to 3 years if possible, depending on how we have time and get to them. This winter we did N and F, we cut them back to the right of way.
NF. We went over C,
Mhm.
A,
Okay. So, GG from Mellon to Clam Lake, it's been a kind of a project for the last, what, 5-6 years now. We have a little bit more right of way on there. Most of the county roads, we have 33 feet each side of the center line is right of way. On GG, we have more. We have an agreement with Forest Service that we could cut up to 40 feet off the center line on GG. So that was a lot of big trees up quite a bit closer. So we've spent a lot of time. We finished this winter down the Clam Lake. So that was a big accomplishment. We've worked at it for some years. So next year, you know, if we work on it in the winters that we don't have a lot of snow. You know, this last winter was great. We cut brush and trees all winter long. Winter before, we didn't get much done. We were plowing snow every day. So it just all depends on the year and on the winter. So yeah, GG is done to Clam Lake. We will be continuing south with that as weather permits in the coming winters. So any questions on these projects? Most of you guys have these packets, that's why I printed them out. You can take home if you want to look them over or know what's what. So these are just a kind of an overview. It's not everything we do, but some of the main activities we do on our road maintenance activities. Snow plowing obviously is the big one in the wintertime. Brushing, asphalt maintenance. We do a lot of patch the potholes as we need to. We do a lot of crack sealing all summer. June, July, August, we generally spend crack sealing. We try to keep up on the county roads, especially the newer pavements. Some of them, they might only have a crack every 500 to 1,000 feet even, but I like to seal them every year. That way the keep the water out. The more water we can keep out, the longer that roadway is going to last before it starts getting potholes and starts going bad. So we do spend a lot of time on crack sealing. Mowing, we generally start mowing in mid-June, mow through June, July. We talked about crack sealing. Culvert replacement, we do a lot of culvert work, not only on the county but the towns. We did just find, as doing the culvert inventory, the DOT is paying for a culvert inventory from all culverts from 6 foot to 20 foot. So I needed to do an inventory of them for the DOT. I found one up on County C. Probably what, quarter or half mile west of or east of the Vista C intersection, Wildcat there. Culverts, not, it's old enough. It's probably
92
92,
95 someplace.
but it's crushing. It's coming apart at a joint. And it's crushing. And it's getting big cracks down it in the metal and then the surface. So it's a deep one. It's 25 plus feet deep. We're going to have to replace that this summer. It's about 160 feet long. That will be on our work schedule for this summer.
What does that actually cost the county?
I don't know that yet. We're Bruce is just getting prices. That culvert is what, $180 a foot basically.
Yeah, I think 28,000, 29,000 for the pipe.
So then
We get any reimbursement back or?
no, there's no money for that. But yeah, it's something, if we don't take care of it, it's we're gonna start getting holes in the roads. The shoulder's already getting holes in it, or the slope, not so much the shoulder, but the slope is. So something that's gonna have to be taken care of.
I just, Marty and I have been on the committee for a while and we talked about it several different times, but like animals that get killed on the road. Would you tell us what's happening with that?
So
like deer and bear.
So deer and bear, DOT puts out a contract. Private contractor has everything for the state highways. So when something gets hit, the sheriff's department or ourselves sends an email to this private contractor and they have 3 days, they're supposed to pick them up. Doesn't always happen, but
How much do they get?
Uh,
Did the county turn?
yeah, Gary.
I have a comment on that. I've been working with the DOT because a contractor that they currently have works multiple counties and are not doing their job. So the state is trying to look at some alternatives as to what the solution is, because the deer are sitting out there forever. And I understand a contractor in another county not driving 50, 60 miles to pick up a deer, but that's their contract.
Mhm.
And so hopefully within the next few months, DOT is going to make a decision on basically relieving those contractors of that contract and they're trying to find out who can do it in their place. Because what they have currently is not working. And a lot of complaints about dead deer laying for days and days in the ditch or on the roadway. So hopefully, if we get a chance and DOT's in the area again, we'll get to ask, maybe the locals have some update, but I had been talking to a gal in Madison about it. What I was trying to do, in all honesty, was get a deer count. And between the DNR and the DOT, they told me that that's a significant problem in the northern part of the state, that the contractor's just not doing their job. So
I would agree with that. We've seen that often. We got a new contractor a year or two ago. Has done better than the previous one, and that really didn't pick up anything. I think he got paid for everything, but he didn't pick up anything. We put a price in it a few years back of, I think, $50 a deer. At that time, the contractor put in for like $15, and I think he's up to 25 or 30, which I don't know. Like Gary says, how do you drive 60 miles to go get a deer and get $30 for it? It doesn't pencil out, but
There, with those kind of deals, there should be some kind of provision to get out, because if a guy lowballs a bid, he gets it and
yeah,
finds out he can't do it. You should be able to just walk, to let
Something,
people know about it. But,
yeah. Bill, did you have something on somebody? Yeah.
Getting back to the culvert replacement there, do you have, without really knowing how things work here, do you have a general slush fund?
So we have our county maintenance fund. We have a yearly fund to take care of things, and we'll be fine
That
with our
usually,
budget. Yeah,
except in a big flood year or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yep.
Things go haywire or
Yeah.
whatever. It's kind of consistent of sorts.
yeah. I mean, it's all shuffle, last year we spent a lot of money down on GG doing some rut paving and some asphalt, fixing that up because that project isn't happening for a few years. But yeah, it's we have dollars in our county. If something happened, that say it was going to be $100,000, I would have to come to the committee here for more money, and then obviously it would, if it was approved here, it would go down the road to finance to see for more money. But
Yeah.
How much money do we have in that account?
the top of my head, I do have the budget in here. I was gonna do the budget after this, if you want to wait for that or not, but see, general maintenance, county highway general maintenance, $1,333,660. So yeah, that's everything, the snow plowing, everything we do, but yeah. So does that answer your question?
Yep.
Yeah. So shoulder maintenance, we just we're finishing up today. We're going up a little bit on 112 touch up, and then county A. In the springtime, we like to we call pulling the shoulders. We have a disc. It takes the shoulder material, kind of puts it right on the edge of the blacktop. The grader will lay it out from there, and then a broom sweeps it off and compactor rolls it back down. So we try to do all the roads. It pulls that just with plowing and then cars driving off, you get a little bit of edge off the edge of the pavement. It's dangerous if a car drifts a little bit. So we pull that back up to that edge. Do a lot of sweeping intersections, especially coming off the gravel roads to the or asphalt roads. Sign maintenance. Obviously we fix all the signs that get knocked down, which is mostly winter time. A lot of it we do ourselves with snow plowing or cars hit them or whatever. We also try to check them every 2 to 3 years. We have a device that shoots the reflectivity of the signs. We go through and we check all the signs for reflectivity. When they go out of the standards, then we order new ones and put them up, which we have done that this spring. We're just in the process of getting the signs ordered here shortly to replace the ones that are faded out. So,
Do you, I know in the past you put up the 911 signs. Do you still do that?
yeah, so I do that myself. Work with zoning. Zoning takes the application for the 911 sign. They send it to me. I go out and find that location and get a GPS point, which I send to Brittany in GIS. She assigns the address. And then when she does that, then it goes back to zoning. They order the signs gets delivered here. There's one on the windowsill right behind Jim there. And then I install them. Yeah.
How much does the highway department get paid?
So there's $250, and I believe we get 200 of that. And we buy the signs. Zoning gets 50. We get 200. We buy the signs and install them. So sign the post.
The property owner pays the 250?
Yes. Yep. There's other fees. I'm not. Some of the signs are getting very faded out, especially on the south side.
Yeah. They're
supposed to buy it through the county, and I don't know if that's $50 or $75 for a new sign. 50. Like it's a little bit more for a sign and post if you need both of them, but yeah. So yeah, I do take care of that.
So the landowner takes the hit on buying the new sign for the faded or
Yeah.
replacement, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, we've discussed it if something should be done countywide or maybe do an advertisement, if your sign's getting faded that here's the contact to order a new sign, but at your cost, because some of them on the south side you can't even read them anymore.
Right.
They're just gone.
Well, for my part, if I had a fire or needed an ambulance, I want to be able to find me.
Yeah, for sure.
You know where you live.
Tell them to come from the north. Traffic control, we do a lot of traffic control for our own projects, some for the DOT will have us do for different projects that they have going on. Bridge maintenance, we go through and we wash all of our bridges in the springtime. We're just going to be starting that maybe this week yet. Clean all the salt, sand off of them, just get them cleaned up, check them over for any problems that need done. And then we put sealers on them also, concrete sealers as needed. Although last year our county bridges, I think we did 9 bridges. We did epoxy overlays on them. And then should help a lot. We'll still have to wash them, but we won't have to seal them anymore, and it should preserve them bridges. They're nice bridges, and it should preserve them for many, many years, hopefully. So
I have a question. That in Mellon there, when they put the new bridge in, they did that thing that stands out that you couldn't plow through.
the median there,
Yeah. Whatever happened to that during the winter? Were you able, we didn't have a very bad winter,
yeah,
but how our plow trucks they're too wide to get through there.
yeah.
How did that work out?
So they cannot fit through there with their wing down. They have to lift their wing.
Okay.
So it's just an extra pass. You have to turn around and get an extra swipe at it to get it wider.
Okay, but you still can do it. You don't have to.
Yeah, we can. It's just with our wing down. I don't have that picture. I could show you up. But yeah, it would not fit between the median and the curb.
You just have to turn around and go the other direction. And,
Yeah,
okay,
Yep.
both ways.
it's just comes narrow with one pass.
There's actually 2 trucks that come back through there. So, you know, it gets plowed fairly fast.
Any other question? That's just kind of an overview of some of the stuff we do, not everything obviously, but just some of it anyway. Our shop, do a lot of preventive maintenance. Obviously, the guys are responsible to grease the equipment or the trucks they're running. But other than that, the shop does most of the oil changes, preventive maintenance. We do repairs. We have very good mechanic. Brian Hill is our mechanic. He's very knowledgeable. We have the computer equipment to diagnose them, and he can fix almost anything. You know, if it was a full engine rebuild, we probably wouldn't tackle that here. We would send it out, but we do take care of almost everything. We do a lot of fabrication. They can build whatever is needed. They fixing the plows.
What's the life expectancy of a truck?
So we have 10 plow trucks. We basically try to buy one every single year. So it's on the road for 10 years in that cycle. And then after that, it sticks around for 3 to 5 years as a backup truck. And then some of it, we've actually sold a lot of the early, like the 10, 11, 12s and kept some of the older stuff. That was the early stages of this new exhaust filters and particulate filters for emissions, and very high maintenance. Put a lot of dollars in to keep them going. So we've got rid of some of that early stuff. It's better now. It's still not perfect, but it's better than it was. But yeah, so then we either sell them, like them ones we sold, but some of them get repurposed. We have a truck with a older truck with a water tank or brine tank on it for hauling liquids around. We have a truck with a big box on it that has a steamer in it for steaming culverts, pressure washer with heat. Some of them just turn into dump trucks that they're just used straight as dump trucks for hauling. A lot of big riprap and bigger rock that we don't want to haul into better ones, you know.
Did you have to do much steaming of culverts this year?
Very little that I remember. Yeah. None.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, by the time we ship them out of the door here, they're pretty much a rust bucket. I mean, there's not a lot left generally. We do take care of the sheriff department vehicle maintenance. That's a fairly new thing. The last year or so, we took over that. I think it's working out for us, and I believe it's cut their costs considerably by having that done elsewhere. So, Human Services has 3 vehicles. Our department, per se, if you want to say, owns the vehicles. We own them. They pay us mileage. They have a gas card in them. We buy the gas. They pay us mileage as they're used. That seems to be working out very well for us too. We're satisfied with that. Then we do some town vehicle repair. We don't do a lot of it, but we just did the town of Peaksville. We put a springs in their dump truck here this last week. So something we do offer if the towns need work done on their. Sounds like there's getting less and less mechanic shops. This North End Heavy Duty out of Park Falls closed recently, and Al's closed recently. It's getting harder to get some of that work done, so we could see more of that in the future. Any questions on that? Other activities, obviously you can see the video playing. That's last year we rented a screen plant up in our sand pit up C. We screen sand out for our salt sand for wintertime. We try to rent it for a month every 3 to 5 years, depending on usage. Screen large pile of sand. So it's just something out of the ordinary, you know, that for us, we don't do it often, but at times we do different stuff. But I guess we talked about a lot. We talked about working with the towns. We assist them with anything they need, really. I mean, assist them with the road, any maintenance they need.
Do you run up a pile for multiple years or do you?
Yeah, so we run it for a month. We rent the machine for a month, and we try to get 20 to 25,000 put up, and we use what 6 to 8 a year depending on the winter. So yeah.
This site that you have by Highbridge, that's the piece of the county took a tax deed on and you got an easement to it?
No, this is a sand pit. We have this right up, see, right past the cemetery. We've had for years.
Did you ever do anything with that one?
Still working on it. I
You
haven't,
didn't get the easement
I
then?
have not got an easement. I haven't pressed him. His mother died after that last time we talked about it.
Okay,
And for one thing, I don't know where it's at. Him and his mother both owned it together jointly. I haven't wanted to ask him yet. Just figured I'd let it ride for a few months.
Yeah.
Whether, you know, I don't know where it's gonna be at as far as ownership. You know, if there was wills or not, any of that stuff, so I have no idea.
does the county order for the towns like salt, sand salt or whatever?
So yeah, very few of the towns buy any salt from us direct. I think only LaPointe, they buy a little bit to mix with their own sand over there. But we sell salt sand, so every fall we mix up salt sand. We try to keep it at 4.9999%. It's there's different regulations if you go over 5% of salt in the mix. So we try to keep it just under 5. But yeah, we sell to most of the towns, I would say, in the county. Some of the couple on the south end don't, I believe they get it out of Price County. It's shorter trucking for them. But otherwise, yeah, we put up quite a bit of that. And yeah, city of Ashland also buys it. The tribe, the BIA roads buys from us the salt sand, the towns. So yeah, talked about it. We plow jingles. We do a lot for the other county departments. Could say we have a bunch of guys with strong backs. We move a lot of paper products for human services. We take their records and burn them that need up in our sand pit. We burn usually every year for them. We've done a lot of work around the courthouse. Well, a couple years ago, some of you might remember we had to take all the paper out of the attic. That was a big job. Yeah, we do a lot of whatever we can assist with other county departments. We just built a swing set down in Mellon for human services at one of the Mellon parks last week. So we can do a lot of stuff we help out with. We do some work with DNR for projects. They'll hire us and the Forest Service, culvert work, different work for them as they need. We also work for other counties, some road work projects. We have a concrete grout pump, so we can do mud jacking. We will go do jack approach slabs of bridges if they're getting, you know, they're settling. We can jack them up to match better. We do some culvert liner. They'll put liners through. We'll pump the grout around the line between the old culvert and the new liner. That kind of goes in streaks. Some years we do more of it than some years we hardly do any of it. We do most of the frost tubes for, I mean, we were all the way down to what, Dunn County, even farther, St. Croix County maybe this year.
Great, I think, yeah.
The spring, putting in frost tubes. If you don't know what them are, we have tubes in the road. We have a handful of them around the county. So we drill a hole. We put a inch and a half PVC, inch and a half or quarter PVC in the ground. And inside of that, it has a clear tube with just water with a dye in it that kind of change colors as it freezes. And they just have a lid, like a water valve lid. So we can pull that out and it'll show what the frost is in the road, or if it's froze, you know, 36 inches deep, and then generally they're about 84 inches deep, so. We use that to monitor in the fall, coming into winter, when the DOT is asking for them numbers. When it gets enough frozen depth, they will put on the winter haul laws. I guess they can haul more, especially for logging. We can actually haul more. We fall into the category for hauling our salt and salt sand around. We can haul, instead of 20 to 21 ton of load, we can haul about 28 ton. So it ups the weights on the road. Then of course in the springtime, when it starts thawing out, we're watching it really close. We start seeing that 8-10 inches of surface thaw. We'll put the road restrictions on for the springtime. Then we're watching it when it goes out, of course, too. So
Do you know if we had, as far as people, when you had your road restrictions on, was there many people that were ticketed for like truckers and stuff? Do you know if we had any this year or no, or?
I don't know that.
Okay, do they don't have to let you know?
No, they don't let us know.
Okay,
We had a little bit of trouble on GG this year. I do know the county really doesn't, the sheriff's department really doesn't go after overweights. They don't have the scales or the means to really watch that. So we rely on the DOT weighmaster, and I believe they're way shorthanded, and we see them so rare. It's not a lot.
He was stretched pretty thin this spring. I did talk to him a few times. We had people working down on GG, and they just happened to catch a name on the one truck, and I called the company and they apologized, and they talked to the driver to not to go on there again. So
Yeah.
if you talk to them, they're usually pretty good. The ones that I always see are the containers that are coming up to the mills in Mellon. They're using GPS. They have no clue where they're going. So
Some of them drivers, when you talk to them, you'll follow them and talk to them. They can't even hardly speak English. I don't know how they can find out where they're going. But we do building maintenance. Obviously, we have a lot of our own buildings, and we do help out with other county departments if needed. Natural disaster response. Hopefully we don't have a lot of that. Back in 2016, we all remember what happened that year in the flooding. But accident response, we do work with the sheriff's department if there's road accidents and detour routes and flagging and whatever cleanup is needed. So, and then training, we do quite a bit of training. We just, a week and a half ago, we did our yearly MSHA training. We have to be able to go in the gravel pits every year. We have to have a full 8 hours of training on that. Do other training as needed and ongoing all the time.
just to be able to run that screening plant, you have to have that card to be in a working pit.
So yeah, this is just, we talked about the pulling shoulders. This is a video of this. This is the tractor. It's pulling the gravel back up onto the edge of the asphalt. The next, the grader will come through and spread it back out. That's a pretty nice little disc. It works very well to pull that up. Broom will clean up anything left behind. And roll it down. So yeah, there's just a picture of the swing set we built last week down in Mellon at the ballpark, for funded through Human Services. So that's, any questions on that? Otherwise, in your packet, I did put in our 24 budget. To give you guys a copy overview, so our basic budget is this year is $4,490,103. We talked about it, about $1 million of that is this state dollars for the RMA, for the state highway maintenance. I think we have $1 million put aside for debt levy for county road projects, paving projects, which we're going to talk about that here shortly. Yeah, the first section is the revenues, and then the expenses are all broke down into many categories, I guess there.
You have the ability within the budget to move some stuff around. To a certain point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Minute to look at it, or anything you want to talk about on it, but just figured it'd be good if you had a copy of it to. Over. We will be going into budget season here shortly. We will need to have a June meeting. Then put out the other day our capital improvement budget for next year. The requests are due middle of June, so I will be putting that together in the next month and bringing it to the committee on whatever June date that would be.
June 10th.
10th. So we'll talk about that. Bill.
June 10th.
Tom and I are going on a trip in June. We're going to our Rhine cruise, and we're not going to be back until June 12th. So
When do you leave?
we leave the 28th of May. So we will be coming back on the 12th of June.
Okay.
So that's two of the members that are gone.
Yeah.
And something happens to another one, who knows? But I thought I'd let you know that.
Okay.
I don't know when.
Yeah, the meeting would have been the 10th, but
Why don't you schedule it for a week later, Matt?
that's fine for the capital budget if we're a few days late.
Yeah, just schedule it, yeah, do the 17th.
Okay,
17th.
that'll work, yeah. Yeah, we will start the capital budget at that time, go over, and then we will be working through the next month or so after that for our full budget. Probably bring that to them in July or August for sure. So yeah, just any questions on that? I guess that's my overview. Any general questions, I guess. Hopefully it's helpful to, you guys can understand what we do, where, why, when. Bill.
I think that was an excellent presentation because, we got how many new members and then the other members don't, kind of going over things. So that was well timed for this meeting. So
Yeah.
I'd like to just mention that helped, me a lot. So
Sure. Thank you.
are we ready to go on to number 9? Discussion action 2024 county highway paving. project.
We're on 8 in my report, so,
Oh, okay. Sorry.
which I've done a lot of it. So we talked about employees, we are down one. We had Nicole Mackey resigned here a month or so back. We are advertising to fill that position. Hopefully we'll keep advertising until we find the right person. Summer help, we talked about that. we're still hoping to get applications. Know of anybody over 18 that wants a summer job? I think it's a good job. I mean, they work Monday through Thursday. They have 3-day weekends and get paid pretty decent, so. Any questions on employees?
I just, for the committee and everything, how long have you worked for the county and how long have you been highway commissioner?
So I started in 2013 as the patrol superintendent in Bruce's position. And Emmer retired in 2019. I took over as commissioner in end of October, early November of 19.
So then Bruce is appointed by who?
He's hired by me, the department.
Okay, but he had
Yeah.
worked there for 30 some years.
Yeah, he was an operator for many years before he took that position.
You could almost fall snow, oh, he's not here. I was gonna say, you could almost fall snow with his eyes shut.
So the work schedule, we touched a little bit, so. Since we met last, we worked on a brushing on GG. We've been pulling shoulders, doing sign repair. The last week or two, the dome across the street there, it's gonna, you can actually see the people up on it. They're starting today to put a new roof on it. But it had a conveyor system in there that ran from the railroad tracks up into the building. And that had to come down. It was used 1 or 2 times 30-40 years ago. But it was rusted out. It was getting to be a safety hazard. So with the new roof going on, we wanted to get it removed. So we can cover over that hole and not have another hole in the roof. So
Are you gonna re-shingle it?
so they're putting a rubber roof on it this time. It has a shingle roof on it and they blow off all the time. So we're gonna try rubber.
Is that a DOT thing?
So it's mostly paid by the DOT. I believe the contract to replace that roof was 184,000, which 150,000 is paid by DOT. So the county is on the hook for a portion of it. We do store some county salt in there, but the bulk of the salt is DOT owned.
That building's been built for 30 years already?
No,
No,
it's
I don't
probably
think that
not.
long.
Been there a long time.
I wanna say 86. No, 96,
96.
Okay.
96.
Close to 30, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, they put that conveyor system in to get salt by rail and 1 or 2 times, and then it never happened again. And obviously, our rail system isn't in any shape to get anything anymore, so yeah, it was basically unsalvageable. The whole conveyor the metal was all rusted out. So we've been doing some patching also. Coming up, we're gonna be starting to wash bridges, crack sealing. Our plow trucks are coming apart. We take four of them get repurposed. We pull the boxes off them, all the winter equipment off of them, and put a 5th wheel plate. We have live bottom trailers we haul asphalt and gravel with, so we use them in the summer. And a couple more are dump trucks. We pull the inserts out of the boxes and they turn into dump trucks for the summer, triaxle dump trucks. So yeah, most of our plow fleet gets repurposed for summertime use also. So it's a big benefit, I believe. Different counties, say Bayfield County, they have a fleet of plow trucks and then they have a fleet of quad axle dump trucks. We have tried to repurpose our fleet for both uses, so I think it's a good use of that equipment. Sign repair, patching, so that's basically what's coming up. I guess any questions on the work schedule? Not, I'll move into construction. There's not a lot of construction happening in Ashland County this year, especially DOT work. There's no big road projects this year. Tyler Avenue in Mellon is getting a new bridge that the pre-con hasn't been yet, but it should be anytime. They'll be getting started on replacing that bridge. Some remember that was scheduled to be done last year, but with the big project in Mellon, it got kicked out a year because they needed to still access their main street. It would have been their only access with that that road project. Yeah, that's, and then county construction, we're gonna talk about that under our next agenda item. Plan to do some paving on GG, but we'll be discussing that.
I was gonna say that project in Mellon turned out really well. Coming in from the north, it looks like a whole different town.
Yeah,
It really
it's
does.
too bad there's a few patches here and there, but
Yeah. There's
but
a-
overall it
Yeah.
was a nice addition to Mellon for sure. Yeah, next year on the DOT, the road 13 is gonna get rebuilt from Butterworth up to US 2. That'll be repaved. There's gonna be some work through town. They're changing like from 6th Street up to US 2, or at least to Main Street, will be going down to 1 lane with a bike lane. Even through the section, the median section by the school, you know, from Northland down, will have 1 lane with a bike lane and then a 6-foot parking lane. I don't know how it's all gonna fit very well, but that's the design that they have for that, so. So that will be next year, and also,
Is highway department in Ashland County, are they gonna do any of that work or?
no,
All
that,
job done.
that'll all be, DOT will put that out to a contractor. Yeah, I don't, you know, we don't have a lot of say so even what they do. I do attend the meetings, the planning meetings with DOT and the city, like on them. Which I think they take what we have to say. But DOT is the final say so on what's going to be done. Then next year, yeah, also 169 is scheduled to get repaved, so it's just a thought for next year. I guess that's all I have for construction. We're gonna talk about the paving project and probably go over a little bit of the upcoming plan for county highways on the next agenda item.
Has there been any response on the widening of 169?
I have not heard of any.
Corners and stuff?
Yeah,
I did ask that question and pretty much no.
yeah,
Kind of figured that's what would happen.
They don't wanna go into ditching and full out, they just wanna rehab the surface and culverts.
A lot of wetlands over there too. Yeah.
yeah, a lot of wetlands in there for sure. All right, that's my report.
Okay. Did we, that was the paving project?
So we will be going to number 9, the
Okay,
county
That's
paving
next.
project, yes. Yep. So in your packet, I do have some of these, in our budget for this year, we budgeted, 1.4 million to pave a portion of County Highway GG from Mineral Lake north 5 miles. And I had expected to get 347,000 in LRIP dollars for that project. LRIP, we actually are getting more than that in LRIP, but some of them dollars are not available until next year through the DOT. So I'm proposing we change our project scope down from 5 miles to 4 miles. I do have 177,000 of DOT dollars, and then the $1 million improvement fund from debt levy. So we have a little bit over almost 1.2 million. So my proposal is to go from 5 miles to 4 miles. And then next year, we would do another section from that, basically be this year Mineral to Quarry Road. And the next year, we would put it in to go the rest of the way into Mellon.
Do we need a motion by the committee to do that?
Yeah, because I'm changing my proposed budget, you know, from 5 miles to 4 miles. It's to save a little bit of cost because of the LRIP dollars. Instead of, I had planned for 347 and we're only getting 177 this year, but then next year we'll get the rest of it. We're getting in the LRIP budget. LRIP comes out every 2 years. It's the Wisconsin, it's a local road improvement project or program. That's funds from the state for county highways. There's a separate one for counties, there's a separate one for town, there's a separate for the cities and villages. I had budgeted to get 347,000 out of there. And we actually did it better than that. We're actually getting a total of 412,588, but only 177,000 this year, 235,000 next year. So they didn't give it all in one year. So I needed a little bit of a change to.
Does anybody have any questions for Matt before a motion is made?
Yeah, can you delay the total to do it all next year, or does that 177 or whatever have to be spent this year?
It does not have to be spent this year, but we do want to do it this year because our debt levy budget, we need to spend that dollars.
Okay.
You know, that money comes as debt levy and it basically has to be spent to for the DOT and otherwise, and it also, so our gas tax dollars, we get gas tax from the DOT and I can't remember, it's around 400,000 every year. So that goes on a 6-year average. It's a 6-year average of all your costs for your county highways. So if we did no project this year, our cost would be that $1 million less. So it would lower that average. So we try to keep it flat. We want to do, you know, $1 million to $1.5 million worth of work every year to keep that flat, to keep our GTA dollars flat, consistent.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do want to do that.
Any other questions for Matt?
I did, in your packet, there's this improvement plan. I did just update it here recently again. So this just will give a snapshot of what we're hoping for in the next, this is for five years, yeah, this year up to 28. In 25, it shows 26 is going to be a big year. We have County Highway GG from Mineral Lake down to Clam Lake to County M. We're getting a federal FLAP grant for that, so I think 2.2 million in FLAP dollars for that project. So that's actually the worst pavement right now on GG, but we have federal money to pay for it in a couple of years, so we're just kind of limping it along, as patching it as best we can to keep it going. Yeah, that's next year. I would hope to do the rest of GG to the north, right up to Highway 13. That's my game plan. I put in for a shoreline erosion grant from FEMA, and I still have not, they were supposed to let us know by December on that one. I still have not got any word on it. I've asked just recently again, and there's still no word. So that had been put in the budget for next year, but even if they do come through with it, I don't know that we'd be able to get the project designed and built for next year. It would take probably longer than that. So I don't know what's going to happen with that one. So yeah, it's just the overview of, but yeah, I do, if you guys would agree to shorten that project a little bit to about 4 miles for GG.
Marty?
I'd make the motion to accomplish what Matt was trying to do there.
Cutting from 5 to 4,
Yeah,
or second.
I'll second it.
Tom Bringer seconds it. There any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying yes. All those opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. I will get that project out to bid here. I'll be advertising this week yet. That has to be advertised for 2 consecutive weeks for the LRIP rules. So get that out.
Moving on to 10. Highbridge Post Office site. You see the Highbridge Post Office is closed now. The door was wide open.
The building is gone.
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's
weird.
gone, yeah.
Disappeared.
Oh, can, Matt, you want to shed some light on
Yeah,
that?
so the Highbridge Post Office closed up here the end of January, early February. It was a privately owned building. One party owned the building, one party owned the land, and there was some disagreement, whatever. Anyway, it closed. So the post office is searching for a new site for a post office somewhere in the area. Dan and I Dan has been in contact with them about it. We've expressed that we would possibly be interested in leasing them a piece of land right off the driveway here between here and Ryfield Road. So I just wanted to give it to the committee. They're supposed to actually be in town next Tuesday, I believe, looking at sites. I just want to make sure if they're interested in that site, that the committee would be fine with us giving them a lease on that piece of ground.
Is there any other possible site that the county has?
We have another nice area over there, but I have dreams for other county business in that area. So whether it be a fueling station or that would be, there's actually enough room for another building if there was interested in another office of county office being built there for, who knows, land department or human services or any other department if they wanted a spot.
One of the nice things about this site here is that it's accessible from 2 sides. You know,
It'd be accessible from our driveway and also from the Ryfield Road side, yeah.
And another thing, since that's where my mail comes to, is that we need an improvement in our postal service.
Yeah.
I got my electric bill the day after it was due. We need to speed things up.
We did give them temporary permission. They have some boxes down toward the end of our driveway. They're outside post office boxes and there's a drop box. They have them set along the driveway right now,
But they're working out of the Grandview office.
Oh, is that why our mail's coming so late? Have we talked anything about the price yet or no, or what?
it'll be very minimal. Dan had got an email, I don't know, was it maybe 3,000 a year or something possibly. It won't be a lot of money, but it would be a benefit to the local community is how I see it.
Are we talking like a long-term lease, like 50 years or something?
Yeah, I don't know how many, probably a 20-year at least, or, I proposed to Dan that, I don't, the money, the yearly lease part is minimal, whatever. I'm not worried about that. But it would need some site work. If they would agree to it, we could have it all prepped for them because they bring in like a pre-built trailer, modular unit. If we could have the site prepped for it, the driveway, the septic and all that done, and say that cost us 20,000, that could be added to the lease for 20 years to pay for it, or they could pay for it a lump sum, or they could pay for it, over a contract cycle. Doesn't matter to me how to do that, but
do we need a motion to say that the committee's in favor of doing this or no? Or
I would just like, a motion that you guys support us moving forward with that.
okay, go ahead.
Okay, another question, that site that you're talking about now, that's just unimproved, is it
Yeah, it's just
open,
lawn.
vacant, what kind of?
Yeah, it's just right
piece?
outside of our fence. It's just a lawn
Yeah.
piece. There's nothing there. that-
Unused,
unused,
you
yeah.
wouldn't be able to really do much with it.
It's not enough room
Otherwise-
for us to do anything with
Yeah.
at any time.
Yeah,
I don't. The only thing I've thought about putting there is a kind of like a settling pond. If you noticed, like L&M, what they put, so all of our stormwater would go in there and settle out before it went in the ditch. But we could actually still do that. There would be room outside of there, what the post office needs to do that, even if I wanted to, so.
Is there any other questions? Looking for a motion? Marty,
I'll make a motion that we pursue the post office lease.
is there a second to that motion?
I'll second that motion.
We're in favor of giving the lease? Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
The next item is discussion of WCHA Road School, June 3rd to the 5th.
So yeah, WCHA puts on 2 road schools a year, one in January, one in June. Commissioners and the committee are invited to both of them. So the upcoming one is, yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, June 3, 4, and 5. If anybody is interested in attending, there's good seminars, networking with other, commissioners, highway committee people. It's just good content. Marty has been before.
Are you and Bruce going?
I will go. Yeah, Bruce goes to one, patrol soup one in September.
I think it's worthwhile to go at least once.
And the June one, especially after election, will have content on basically the role of a highway committee member.
Is anybody interested in going? Or Jim?
We do need to know on this week, the registration, the early registration closes this week. So after this week, it's a little bit more money, but
We actually have one paid.
we do, yeah.
Already.
Dick
Dick was
Yeah.
gonna go to Winter Road School and wasn't able
had to
to.
cancel, so.
They get a per diem to go to that for each day. Yeah.
Um,
How that works, man.
I guess I don't know on the per diem per se, but the county pays for the hotel room, we pay for the conference costs, and then the meal schedule as per handbook is so many dollars per breakfast, so much for lunch, so much for dinner, so you can turn in them expenses and get reimbursed for that part of it. But we covered a conference and I would book the lodging down there too, so that would be covered. So yeah, if anybody's interested, can let me know.
Tom, are you interested?
Well, I'd probably be making hay. Starting then, so I hate to be gone 3 days.
Jim too, making hay. Well, it might be a little early for me. I'm not a good farmer, but it sounds interesting, but yeah. I think I'd rather decline.
Okay, Marty, you wanna go?
No, I can't think.
Okay. So it doesn't seem like we're going to be going.
Okay. So with that, there is a vice chair open on the WCHA board. Just wanted to throw it out there if anybody was interested, but if you're not gonna make it to the conference, it probably wouldn't be for that either. Wouldn't be there, so.
There's one in the winter too, so.
Yeah, that wouldn't be the highway, could the highway commissioner hold that job?
No, that's for committee members.
Okay.
There's 2 sides to the WCHA board. There's the commissioner side and the committee side. So there's a vice chair position open on the committee side right now. That's a 3-year commitment. You go from vice chair to past chair.
Okay, moving on, is there any items for the next agenda? And we set the date for the next meeting on the 17th of June. Is everybody comfortable with the 9 o'clock, or do you want to change the time, or do you want to talk about changing the time, or? That one thing that might be we could put that on the agenda if you want, or I don't know if it even needs be.
I'm comfortable with it. It works out great.
Everybody seems comfortable.
Works for me.
9 a.m.
Okay, 9 o'clock. The only thing is, are we going to do road trip.
Up to you guys if you wanna do one. I can
Is there something that
schedule one.
is worth showing us? I know last year we went and I was real happy with it because we got to see those frost things by was that Clam Lake?
Yeah.
We got to see the frost things that were in the road and we got to see where they were actually working and some of the roads that were really bad, like 169 we were on. But I don't know if you guys feel like going, we could discuss it, or we could have it next meeting. And then the other thing is, maybe a tour of the shop buildings,
Mhm.
I don't, I
Yeah.
don't know what the committee feels like.
I mean, if we can do a tour of this facility easily, but if we were to do a road tour, we could stop by Glidden or Ashland or both, depending on where all we would go. And then with that road tour, would you want to invite DOT like we did in the past, the last time? I don't know if I could get them programming guys up again. They came to our last meeting and did that presentation already this year, so I don't know if they would come again, but I'm sure Mike Estranga would if he is available. It don't hurt to have DOT on the bus too.
What does the rest of the committee members think about this? Tom, Jim, Tom? Marty?
Yeah, that's good to me because I'm sure these guys know the stuff, but nothing beats first.
Well,
time.
it doesn't hurt to see them and to see what we're planning and give you that 5-year plan, but I could show you the road.
Yep.
You can see for yourself what it looks like and see why we're going to need the funding.
Well, that sounds like a good idea.
I thought, didn't last.
I'm
time
interested, yeah.
You use the BART bus?
Yeah, we had Richard.
Yeah, I don't know if he's available for driving yet, but we'll figure out something.
Find somebody with a CD holder.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah, depending if we have to have that passenger portion of it, I don't know.
Do we just want to schedule that next time? And we
Fine
could,
with me.
we could schedule the road trip and the tour of the buildings,
Yeah,
do it at the same time, and then you have other business that you want.
yeah. So for next agenda, I will have that capital improvement budget we talked about earlier. And then also we have a request from I can't think of the name. It's a dam association right in Clam Lake. They have the dam right on 77. So that waterway comes back and crosses GG. They're asking to put in a public canoe landing on county right of way or property. The county actually owns a little sliver of property, plus our right of way in that portion is 66 feet. So they're asking for a little parking area, and they will put in a walkway, a sign trail down to the lake, basically, that people could get on the canoe there.
Day Lake.
No, there's a little flowage just below Day Lake, between Day Lake and Highway 77.
Oh, okay.
I guess they were pursuing this back, I don't know, 14, 15, and they just kind of dropped it and never went anywhere. So I did touch base with Chris Hoffman from Forestry. He's not opposed to it, but so the next step would be to come to the committee.
Yeah, have you looked at it yet?
Yes.
Okay, is that something that the committee could see, make it as part of?
Yeah, we could look at it on that tour for sure.
Yeah, that would be, as long as we're down there.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be great. Yep. See what they're looking at. So that's the two items. We could have a short meeting and then go on the tour on that June 17th.
Is there anything else the committee members would like to bring up? And no. And then that'll be 9 o'clock. I'll be here.
Wonder if Gary has his bus license. Our former chair drove us
Yeah.
last time.
That should be a requirement. For the traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tour the last time did a lot of good. We saw things that we see maybe driving, but not in all areas of the county, so it really helped.
Yeah. So if we do that, you plan your day, we'll be gone for a few hours at least, you know,
Before.
yeah.
So we're going to invite representatives
I will invite DOT.
and the.
Oh, you want me to invite the reps too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can. Yep.
Chance, I think was there last time.
Mhm.
We want to invite them
Yep.
too, or?
Yeah, why not?
Is there anybody else or that we should invite or?
I can put it out to DOT again, to the reps. Obviously, we'll invite Dan, Gary, is welcome to come. I don't know if you want to put it out to the full board or not, that could
Well,
get to be a
depends
lot
if
of
we got a
people. but,
bus.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah, we don't want anybody left on the side of the road.
Okay. I guess, if there's nothing else, we'll adjourn. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I shall know.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor, you signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
thank you.
Oh, I got here. You're on the forest committee?
Yep.
We got a meeting the 19th.
Okay. Got a bid opening or something.